So I wanted to come on because we have been talking about creating a new Black Wall Street. And of course, I've made several videos about it. And the last video that I made about it was let's get together a dream team to help me put this together. And of course, I only have gotten one person to fill out that form. And to be honest, I thought nobody was going to fill it out. To be quite frank, after a while, I came to the conclusion that nobody was going to fill out the form. Nobody actually wanted to do the work, or let me rephrase that. I think the people that I was asking for uh, wasn't going to show up because those would have been accountants and lawyers, MBAs, people of that nature. And to be honest, it's the same type of thing that have always happened down throughout history. We have those people that are content with the way that they're already living. They have already found their freedom. It's usually the highly educated, quote unquote, let's say the paper educated, the people that have been educated and got their degree. Those are typically the people that don't want to be involved, to be frank, because for one, they've already moved out the hood. They're not the people that's struggling, so to speak. They'll deal with the occasional racism, but they're able to brush it off because they have already been conditioned to do so. This is one way that they were able to get in the position that they are currently in, is by brushing things off and ignoring things and blending in. But those people aren't coming to help us put anything together. They're not willing to work for free. They're not the ones that's in the hood. They're not getting up every morning or night or whenever it may be, working hard, getting dirty, getting underpaid. And they're not living in the hood. They have moved out to the suburbs. They are shopping at places like Harris Teeter and Whole Foods. Their money is not circulating or going to circulate in the community anyway. So what I was coming on to was to talk about that and talk about how can I get some help with what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm not able to take on this feat by myself. Just to give you a little background, I'm actually 812 miles away from East St. Louis. There was a couple people that were saying that, hey, look, maybe you should lead by example. You go there, you buy some property, you rehab it, and then somebody else will come and move in beside you. They were saying that's how the original Black Wall Street was built, brick by brick. And my rebuttal was, well, first of all, the original Black Wall Street was built because there was no other choice. Nobody wanted to do business with black people. That was the problem. They didn't want us in their communities. They did not want to do business with us. They didn't want to sell us anything. So we really didn't have a choice. But of course, in 2026, we have a choice. And that choice is welcomed because they have learned that they can exploit us and hate us at the same time. That's perfectly possible. So they welcome us to the Target. They welcome us to Walmart. They welcome us to the Whole Foods and those places like that. They welcome us to spend our money there. Just don't move in the neighborhood. So that is what this live is about. I'm sorry, this is my first live, but I am pretty confident that I have 0 people. I'm pretty confident that I have 0 people. And I don't have a problem with that because this was something I was supposed to do yesterday. I had some guests that came unexpectedly that kind of threw things off, threw my schedule off, threw my planning off. I wasn't able to come on at 9:30 like I was planning to. But this is my first live, and I'm going to tell you, it took me a while to get up. I still don't even know how I actually got up because it seemed like nothing was working. But to get on with the get on is I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And going back to talking about, that brick by brick theory, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't make any sense. To be honest, there's property 45 miles away from me that I could do that. I could just drive 45 miles and find an area. In fact, I know an area where nobody's at. There's nothing there. It's a clean canvas, which is much different than East St. Louis, because let me be honest with you, East St. Louis is filled with crime. There was a news clipping. It was on the news the other day. I don't want to get it wrong, but I'll get it similar, so don't quote me on it. But I want to say that there was one person that shot 5 or maybe 7 people. It might have been 5, I'm not sure, but I think 3 of them were fatal, and they were actually related in somehow. Right there in East St. Louis, and right there in the neighborhood that I was speaking of, because I've been looking at the maps. I've been looking at Google Maps, really trying to pinpoint the area in question, the area that I think that would be a good fit, because it's not the whole East St. Louis, because they have $500,000 homes in East St. Louis, some that exceed that price, but they also have $6,000 homes, and that's the area that I was speaking of. I've seen some homes for $6,000, for $15,000, and that was actually going to be one of my next videos. But lately I've been working a lot of overtime, and not because I wanted to. I mean, I don't mind the extra money, but it's just the nature of my job. I don't really dictate too much what time I get off. It's kind of like whenever you're done. It's supposed to be more of a 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. job, but I don't have to necessarily go in at 7 a.m. And I guess to give you a description, I'm basically a mobile mechanic. So even though, and that's why it's like I just can't leave, because sometimes I may start on a job at 2:30 in the evening, like I did Friday, and I may stay there 4 hours to get it figured out. So 3 o'clock is not promised, and I swear that's how it was the whole entire week. It's like I was getting these jobs at 2 o'clock in the evening, 2:30, and you know, it just wasn't no 30-minute job. It wasn't a 30-minute fix. It was something that I was gonna have to be there for hours, and so I've been working a lot of overtime. But anyway, back to this East St. Louis thing. It's not a perfect place. It's not a clean canvas. It's a canvas that we have to repaint. But at the same time, I got blank canvases 30, 45 minutes from where I'm at right now. And I don't think it's effective for one individual to go to one location and try to rehab one building that people can vandalize, that I have to pay maximum dollar for, because it's not like we're coming in to buy up a block or a strip. No, it's just one person buying one building. I already explained it in my video. There's no negotiation to that. Either you take it or you leave it. So I don't see the advantage of that. 812 miles away. I mean, why would I do that 812 miles away when I can do it 30 or 40 miles away? So anyway, to get down to the point, and there's a couple of points I want to make. But first, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for some people that actually have some experience with starting cooperatives. You don't have to be an attorney. You don't have to be an MBA. And you don't even really have to be knowledgeable. You could just be someone that knows how to research, because that's what I would have to do, you see. Now, if you won't, I can become the accountant. I can become the MBA. I can become all these extra things, but when I'm investing my time into that particular task, I'm diverting my time away from the main cause, which is to make it happen. So that's what I want you to understand. You know, I can't spread myself too thin, because this is something that's going to take 20 or 30, pretty much by the time it takes place, someone else is already going to be taking advantage of the opportunity. Trust me, this is not going to be someplace that stays there forever. I mean, one thing is right there by the Mississippi River. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if people are not looking at it to create a data center there. It's near water. They need water. It's cheap land. They can use cheap land. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that saying, hey, look, I think I can do something. I think I can help you troubleshoot. I think I can brainstorm with you. And maybe we can figure this thing out together. I don't know. I'm just looking at a few things here right quick. If you could bear with me. I'm just going to send out a quick email. A quick community message. To let people know that I'm actually live, because there's no one here. And I'm not really surprised about that. I have to take the blame for that to a degree. But the question is, do we want to talk about building a Black Wall Street, or do we actually want to build one? Do we just want to be entertained at the idea of a Black Wall Street, or do we actually want to build one? Do we actually have a reason to build one? because it's useless to build one if you're planning on a place that's identical to where you already live. We might as well keep on I might as well live where I live. You might as well live where you are. And, we keep getting busted in the head by the police. We keep getting exploited. We keep not having a voice. No political power, no economical power. Money stays in the community 6 hours. I mean, we can keep doing that, or we can take steps forward. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. In fact, I'm telling you it's not easy, because just the brainstorming part by myself is very difficult. It's very difficult. I mean, it's more than just, hey, there's a place that we can transform, let's do it. It's a lot more involved than that. So that's really what this video is about. But now I want to address some of the comments, right? Which I think is really premature. Why people are worried about whether or not it's going to be foundational American, but nobody's helping. Nobody's worried about how it's going to work. I mean, maybe we should get that out the way first, but I do want to clarify. First of all, I am foundational Black American by definition, but not by policy. I don't believe in being a racist. I don't believe in hating on anyone that looks like me. I do think that we share some commonalities, but I do think we share some differences too. I think we've all been trained different to do different things. I think that Black immigrants are in a difficult boat, but we're not, and they're not neither. We're not, or they're not really paying attention to the boat that they're in, because they can't do what Black Americans do, because they can get deported. You see what I'm saying? We can speak up. We can fight and demand things, because the only place you can deport us to is to jail. But we're still here. That's the big difference between us. And also our teachings. Because we went through similar journeys. It's just we fought for our journey because they had nowhere to send us to. We fought for our respect. We fought and demanded for our rights. Where some of them are from, if they do that, they will be unalived. It's not as easy for them to speak out from where they're from. And that is the advantage that we have. But from an economical point, I'm not interested in you take it how you may, but I'm not interested in my Black American dollars going to Africa or Haiti or Jamaica or to the Caribbeans or wherever it may be. I'm interested in my black dollar staying in Black America. And that is no shade to anyone. That's just what I want to do. But I don't got time for the name calling. I think we have different struggles. I think that if you guys want to build your community, have at it. You won't get any resistance from me. But I do think this should be for the Black Americans here in America that have faced all type of discrimination. We've had all type of plots and ploys ran on us. But I do not believe that you can determine who a person is by where they're from. I mean, I'm just going to give you a prime example. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of us foundational black Americans, we respect the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Well, guess what? He's not foundational black American. Are you going to stop respecting him? Are you going to say that he hasn't been fighting for us? I think that would be foolish. And then, let's say Fred Hampton. I got some notes here if you want me to get into them. But let's just think of a lot of people that are not FBAs. Marcus Garvey wasn't. Hey, here's something else. Guess what? Malcolm X. Malcolm X mother was Grenadian. Nipsey Hussle. A lot of us, he's talking about the economic thing, and we play his music and everything. Not foundational black American. And the list goes on and on and on. But you can't define who a person is by where they're from. That's my message. You can't define who a person is by where they're from. And then we also have to think about the people that assassinated Malcolm X. Foundational black Americans. The person that drew the map to, who was it, Fred Hampton's room to have him assassinated. Foundational black Americans. And then I'll even go deeper. John Brown, white man that led a slave revolt. The people that told on him, the white men that told on him, foundational white Americans. I mean, but he's not a foundational black American. You see what I'm saying? But yet, he did a lot of things that foundational black Americans didn't do. He gave his life. So to me, it's not even about color. It's not saying let's hate all the white people. It's not saying let's hate this particular person or that particular person. I'm just saying let's judge people by who they are, not where they're from. By what they live by what they stand for. Like let's talk about Godfrey, because y'all been going in on Godfrey, and a lot of you have the argument that he hasn't been doing anything monetarily. But let's be honest, what have you been doing as an individual? Have you been speaking out? Have you been preaching black pride? Have you been talking about the black American struggle? Have you? So why criticize anyone that does? I don't care who they are. They can be orange. But we have to be allies. And then, hold on, I'm going to go to my notes for this. Because I'm pretty sure we all know this. And I wish that they're actually, let me see. I'm not even going to lie. I don't even know how to work this thing. But I don't think anybody's here. If it is, I'm sorry, I can't see your chats. Hold on, just bear with me a minute. I'm gonna see if I can. Well, I think I was right. I think there's nobody here, but bear with me a minute. Just bear with me 1 minute. I'm just trying to. No, it just doesn't seem like it's working. Okay. Yeah, well, anyway, I did all that to verify that nobody was here. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I expected one person. But let's carry on. Where was I at? Dang, it slipped my mind. But I don't know if we really want change, we have to do something to bring change. And to be honest, we have some trouble coming. But yeah, this is one question I want to ask you, and put it in the chat. I mean, I know nobody's here at the moment, but whenever you're looking at this video, I'm going to ask you a question, and then what I want you to do is tell me who said this. Tell me who said this. In unity, there is strength. Tell me who said that, and then in a few minutes I'll come back and I'll answer that. But before I do, I'd like you to put it in the chat. Again, in unity, there is strength. Okay, and while we're at it, we'll talk about a couple of other things, since we're talking about foundational Black Americans, because I'm telling you, this has happened before. This has happened before, and what is going on now with the hatred derailed the civil rights movement. Exactly this. Exactly what we're doing right now, hating one another. This is what derailed the civil rights movement. But tell me about that. In strength, in unity, there is strength. Tell me who said that. And while we waiting on you to put it in the comments, I'm going to tell you about William O'Neill, Black man, Fred Hampton's own head of security, foundational Black American. The FBI had him draw the floor plan marking the bed December 4th, 1969. Chicago police used it to unalive Fred Hampton. Then, of course, I've already talked about John Brown, who was a white man that led a slave revolt that was trying to attack a military armory and was unalive, was strung up. And, you know, some people told on him. And, you know, then we know Malcolm X. We know that the thing about it is a big picture. I want you to pay attention. Now, we know that he was killed by black men. But we also have a strong belief that those black men were moving at the instructions of someone else. Right? Am I fair to say that? Okay, we'll leave it at that. Put it in the comment if you think you know who I'm referring to when I say we believe that they were moving at the instructions of someone else. And for those of you that don't know, now there were I think there was 3 men that were actually arrested for it early on. And after years of them saying it wasn't them, they finally got acquitted of it. And because it wasn't them, but it was someone trying to frame it as it was them. And then, of course, we got a lot of modern FBAs. I mean, let me just ask you this. Where are all your superstars at? Where are they actually trying to do something for you? These people flashing all the money in front of the screen, they flashing enough money to go buy up East St. Louis. What are they doing for you? What are they trying to do? Some of them are foundational, some of them are not. But what are they trying to do? We got some billionaires out there. What are they trying to do for you? They could, one of them individuals could buy up all the land that I'm speaking of. And I'm not saying they could buy it up and give it away. No, they could actually be profitable. But they ain't trying to do nothing for you. They ain't trying to change the way your condition is. They can talk, rap, sing till their head fall off. But just think about all of the entertainers we have. All of the basketball players, all of the rappers, all of the singers, all of the sports figures, all of these multi-millionaires that really would only have to take a fraction, probably about the amount that they spent on a gold chain. If they all came together, about as much as they spent on a necklace, or about as much as they did to make it rain one night. If they just took that, if they all just pulled together and did that, they could create a place like this with the money they throw away. But they're not. But yet, you choose to idolize them, but you would hate on someone like Godfrey. Now, I'm not saying that Godfrey is making it rain either, but at least he's talking on our behalf. At least he is speaking on our behalf. That is more than most are doing. And that is no reason to hate someone. That is no reason to talk junk about anyone. Now, let me go back to that question I asked you earlier. Let me get back to it. I asked you a question. Who said in unity there is strength? Did you figure it out? Well, if you didn't, let me tell you. Because they said that back in the 60s. And this was the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's who said it. They wasn't telling us to have it. We had it. And they didn't like it. Because it was messing up their plan. We were progressing. Because there was strength in unity. In unity, there was strength. In unity, we were able to accomplish things. And they didn't like it. And you know what they started doing? They started spreading propaganda to make us fight each other. Bing, bing, bing. They started spreading propaganda to make us fight each other. To make us hate each other. To make us, oh, we don't like this black group. And this black group don't like that black group. And this black group don't like that black group. And then they were able to infiltrate. They were able to create. This was part of COINTELPRO. If you don't know what that is, the counterintelligence program. This is the program that took the life of Malcolm X, of Martin Luther King, of Marcus Garvey. This is what took the lives of our leaders. This is what the Black Panthers. This is what destroyed all of those movements. And this is how they began to do it. They began to do it because they recognized in unity there is strength. And we have to find a way to counter that unity. And they started spreading propaganda. They started creating, just to give you an example, which is actually facts, because they said it. This is not nothing I'm making up. This is something that you can research and you can see they said it. This is their words. This is not my words. This is their words. And they started doing things. They would create these letters and say, oh, this letter came from the Black Panthers. Going to this group. We don't like y'all. So those two groups would start fighting. They would start hating each other. And what are we doing now? Or we hating Haitians. We hating Jamaicans. We hating Africans. We hating everybody we can hate. Except, tell me who we ain't hating. Tell me who we ain't talking junk about. Tell me who we ain't talking junk about. Tell me who we not hating. We ain't hating the same person that said that. The same persons that said, in unity there is strength. We're not hating them. We're not doing nothing to counter them. We're doing exactly what they want us to do. Now, I want to talk about the Haitians for the moment. I got some notes on it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find it. And I'm probably not going to try to find it. I can go kind of verbatim. I can just go off the head. But they already said when it comes to deportation, and when they start deporting Haitians, they don't have to check for a green card. They can base their probable cause off of how they look. Just off of a description. That's all they need. All they need is to say, hey, well, that's a black person. He might be Haitian. Let's go check him out. Now, I'm pretty sure what you're saying is, well, I'll be able to defend myself. I'll be able to show him my American ID. Now, you tell me this. How many times has it been that somebody has been unalived that was a U.S. citizen that they were not targeting? I mean, we can even go with white people. How many of them have been unalived when ICE wasn't even targeted in them? ICE wasn't going after them, but they ended up dead. So when you applaud that Haitians are getting deported, you are applauding the probability of you being unalived. You are applauding the probability of you being messed with, having your rights violated, popularly assaulted, arrested. That's what you're applauding. That is what you are so happy about. You are happy about decreasing your odds of obtaining freedom. It's very important that we fight, us black Americans, us foundational black Americans, because we are the people that cannot. We are the people that cannot be deported. Yet. Let's put it that way. And that's the disadvantage of what immigrants have. Is that they say something, they'll be out of here quicker than you can snap your fingers. This is the game that the machine, I'll call. This is the game that the machine played and has always played. The machine first is playing the game of making sure that we are divisive and that we won't help them, that we won't speak up for them. And don't think it's just started, because I'm going to tell you, I was very disappointed. I believe it was back in 2021 when, we was in the height of the Black Lives Matter movement. And some of us went out there to complain about Hispanics being deported. But when the Haitians was down there in Texas and they were trying to come over here. These clowns went out there on horsebacks and whips, and we didn't do nothing. Foundational black Americans didn't do nothing. We act like we didn't see what was going on. If that wasn't a scene straight out of the slavery books, but we act like we didn't see nothing. And then we want to act like now that, this stuff just started over the next few years. No, you can go way back to then. And to be honest, as long as I've been on this earth, you can go back to the 70s. I can tell you stories all day long. Before I ever heard a bad word from an immigrant, and it could have been because I was a kid, but I'm going to tell you my rendition of it. Before I ever heard a bad word from an immigrant, I heard black communities trashing them. Foundational black communities trashing them. Talking about them like they was nothing. Disrespecting them. Everyone. I know this well. I had a sister that married a man from Africa. And to be honest, this man cared about my well-being more than my own family did. Trashed him. Everybody trashed him. Everybody trashed him. People that didn't know him trashed him. I had a set of friends that when they first met him, because they met him from a distance, because he had a BMW. And it was like, yo, T, man, who was that, man? I was like, man, that's my uncle. Which it really wasn't my uncle. It was really my brother-in-law. But at that time and age, and me not actually having any uncles that I actually knew, or had a relationship with, or aunts or cousins or anything, at that point that I actually knew, I didn't even know the hierarchy. And he just felt like an uncle. I was like, this is what an uncle, what it seems like an uncle would be like. So that's my uncle. So that's what I told my homeboys. And they was impressed. They was cool. They liked him because he pushed that BMW. Because see, back there in the late 70s, early 80s, black people didn't have good cars. Black people didn't have BMWs. Like, we used to play a game, it was called That's My Car. Like, we go up on the corner and we watch the cars that ride by. We see a nice car. We'd be like, that's my car. And then we wanted to make fun at somebody. We see a raggedy car. Oh, that's your car. That's your car. It'd be some old raggedy car come down the road. Black person driving it. All the good cars are white people. That's just the way it was. And that is how times have also changed as well. But that's just the way it was. Black people just did not have good cars. They did not have the luxury cars. They did not have the BMWs, the Mercedes, the Audis. It wasn't no Lexus back then, but they didn't have those cars. They didn't have them. And it was very few. Because I also had an uncle. And they wouldn't even be luxury cars. They would just be new cars. They wouldn't even be luxury. But he would get his new car. And this would be someone I would see maybe once every 3 or 4 years. But he would get his new car and he would come by and the whole family would come out and look at the new car. And it wasn't even a luxury car. We would all come out and look at the new car and admire the new car, because I'm going to tell you, through my whole upbringing, my parents never had a new car. Ever. That was unheard of. A new car? I'm going to tell you, I never knew what a new car smelt like or drove like until I was in the back of a police car. So I was like, oh, this is what a new car is like. It's smooth. It's quiet. That was my introduction to a new car. It was just unheard of. So anyway, I got to get ready to go to work, just like many of us do. But I did want to come on live, and I did want to talk about it looked like somebody might have been on live. I don't know. For some reason, if anybody out there, I can't see you. I don't know. Let me try again. Oh, I do see some people. Let me give some shots out then. I guess I can do that. I see April Williams, Maxwell. Thank you for joining. I see. That's all I see. That's all I see. That's all I see. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Well, I appreciate it. I will be getting back to you. I have so far only had one person that actually filled out the form, and like I'm not going to try to say who filled out the form. I don't know if they want me to share that information or not, but I do appreciate it, and I will be getting in contact with him, and I will be getting in contact with you as well to see what we actually can do. But I think it's also important that people kind of see where I stand, because some people want to start a hate group, and that's not me. I'm not about hating people that looks like me. I have no problem. I'm definitely for Black American economics. I'm definitely for that. I'm definitely for my black dollar recirculating with Black Americans. I do not want my money to go to Africa or Haiti or Jamaica or wherever. I don't want to go nowhere but to Black Americans. That's my concern. That's who I am. And I think that's something that our individual groups, we have to figure that out on our own. I'm not here to support a different nation. I'm here to support. I think that the name been so tarnished because it's just hard for me to even say foundational Black Americans, because I fit the definition by every term, by every single word. I mean, I probably fit it more than the average person. My mother, my grandparents were sharecroppers. My eldest brother was the illegitimate son of the owner of the farm, if you know what I mean. My mother was a sharecropper up until the age of 14. So I'll let you do the math. I'll let you do the math of what happened and how did that come to be. But I've already seen this before. The divisiveness, that we are so proud to be doing right now, again, there is strength in unity. In unity, there is strength. In unity, there is strength. Those are words from the FBI. They had to figure out a way to counter that. They came up with all type of ploys and propaganda to prevent that from happening. What do you think is happening now? Because y'all are sold into it. Y'all are into it so religiously. I mean, I see y'all. What's the other guy that be on In God for We Trust? Dante. I always get his last name mixed up. I'm not sure if it's Miro or Nero. But to be honest, I like all of them because they all tend to speak out for the black Americans. And of course, Dante is foundational black. I be hearing people trying to discredit him just because of what you want it to be. You just got this vitriol for anyone that you can label as non-foundational black American, except the machine. Except the machine. Except the machine. Except the people that's really promoting the propaganda that got you thinking that way. They really got y'all whipped. They really got y'all brainwashed. They have really convinced y'all. They have really got y'all brainwashed. And everything you doing is counterproductive. Everything you doing is lining you up in front of their barrel. Because once they get the Haitians up out of here, then who's going to be next? It's going to be the next group. What they're taking away is that strength. They already took away the unity, mostly. But now they're making sure that there's no possibility for it to be rekindled. So they're going to start removing people. I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the history because y'all don't even know. I mean, not about the history. I'm going to tell you about the future because y'all don't even understand. Y'all are really convinced that these data centers are so they can provide us with more AI. Y'all are really convinced that these people are spending billions and trillions of dollars building these data centers so they can provide us with more artificial intelligence, so they can provide us with more chat GPTs and Claudes and more Geminis, so we can just type away and make fake pictures and videos. I mean, do you really believe that that's what they spending trillions of dollars on? I mean, they anxious to do it. I mean, they so anxious to do it, it's almost like they found a way to bring slavery back. And you know why? Because they did. They did find a way to bring slavery back. It is about bringing slavery back. But because humans happen to be so resistant and hard-headed and unreliable, they got robots. They have to create those brains for the robots. So the robots can do what you are doing right now. But not only that, when it's time to deport your tail, they ain't gonna have to send no ICE agents out there. Because believe it or not, it's all about money for them. They don't want to pay the ICE agents neither if they don't have to. And they ain't going to have to. Because them robots going to get your ass up out of here. Them robots are going to put your ass back on the boat. Maybe, if you lucky. That's the thing about it. That is if you are lucky. Because at that point in time, you will be obsolete. These robots are to get rid of you. That's what they're here for. That's what the data centers are for. They are bringing back slavery. These robots are going to pick the fruit that the immigrants pick. Clean the toilets that the immigrants and us Foundation of Black Americans do. And along with all the other jobs. I mean, we already know that they don't need us to drive the taxi around no more. We already at that stage. They're not going to need us to drive their trucks. We're already at that stage. They already got robots at the BMW and Amazon, and I got a whole list of places here. I'm not going to waste time because I'm about to wrap this up. I haven't even ate dinner yet. But they already got the robots in there roboting. They already in there working. This is not nothing that they're going to do. They're already doing it. How do you think so many jobs been lost? And that's going to continue to happen. They're just trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Get you out here fighting. Get you out here focused on some black immigrants. While you're distracted, they're executing their plan. They're making these robots more capable, more intelligent, and more defensive. I mean, it's probably not some of y'all's cup of teas. But if you get the chance, pull up some video. Look at these AI robots in combat. Look at them fighting. And tell me if you can whip one. Tell me that lie. Tell me that you can whip a piece of metal. Tell me that. So, anyway, I done went all the way around the world. I was supposed to mainly be focusing on Black Wall Street. But to be honest, it doesn't seem like Black Wall Street is focusing on me. And like I say, if it was all about me creating a business for myself, it's something I can do right down the street. I don't have to go 812 miles away. I just wanted y'all to know that. Because that's the reason why I set such a wide area, so I could be included. I mean, I do think East St. Louis is a very good location. But there is a location 45 minutes away from where I'm at now that I can rehab one building. And to be honest, if it's just about rehabbing one building, I don't even have to rehab. If it's about starting a business, I'm pretty sure I can find that location within 10 or 15 or 20 minutes from me. It's really about being unified. Because in unity there is strength. If there is one truth that the FBI has told, is in unity there is strength. I know it, they know it, but do you know it? Quit talking junk about your fellow black man. Create a hierarchy. That's what you do. Tell me who is affecting your life the most. Is it the Haitian? Is it the Jamaican? Is it the African? Is it the Hispanic? Is it the Asian? Are those the people that's denying you bank loans? Are those the people that are beating you over the head and pulling you over for no reason? Are those the people that's stuffing you into jails and prisons? Are those the people that's poisoning your food? And let me put one other person in there too. The average white person. Just the average white person, like your coworker. Are they the people that's doing that? Let's put them in there too, because I don't want you to think this is about white people. That's not who I'm saying. I'm saying the people that's in power. So let me continue with the list. Where was that? Are those the people that's giving you bad education? Are those the people that are dialing back DEI? Are those the people that's firing millions, hundreds of thousands? Let's just, so I can be factual, but it's really millions, but I'll just say hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands of people. Are those the people that are running roads through your neighborhoods when they do become successful? Because trust me, this too. Even when I say the people in power, all those people ain't white. You got a lot of black people in there selling you out. It's a status. Now, trust me, we do got people of all colors that are just plain out racist. And I don't think racism is aimed at nobody more than black people. Notice I didn't say Africans, I didn't say black people. See, because the thing about all this stuff I'm talking about, I mean, they may be getting the bank loans. Maybe it's some immigrants that can come over here and get bank loans and grants and things like that. Maybe they can get that. But for what they can get, there's certain things they can't get that we can get. I'm not saying like financial support. But we don't have to be in fear. I mean, we do, but we don't at the same time have to be in fear of being deported. We don't have to live with that. But yeah, of course, we got a lot of people like to be racist, particularly with their racism aimed at black people. But those are just ugly words that they got. It's not any power behind it in most cases. It's our politicians. It's our employers. It's these businessmen. It's these people with the money. These people that are influencing certain laws. It's these people that won't give us free health care. They will work us to death, but won't give us free health care. It's these people that won't give us reparations. Tell me, does that look like any of those people that we're fighting with? Any of those people that we're out here calling names? Are they the ones that's denying us reparation? Do they got control to give us reparations? Do they got control to give us grants? Do they got control to give us bank loans? Do they got control to give us jobs? Do they got jobs? I mean, do they got control to give us free health care like every other civilized nation on the face of the earth? Nobody works harder than us. But yet, those places got free health care. We are in slavery. We are in slavery. That's why I want the Black Wall Street. I see it. I've been knowing it. It's just most of the time when I tell people that we are in slavery, they look at me like I'm crazy. They don't see it. I think I was born at the perfect time. I was born when there was a transition taking place. It's when we were gaining our rights. And then it was also when they first started to reel them back. That's when I was born. See, I wasn't back there with Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and the original Black Panthers. I wasn't there. My siblings were, some of them. But I just missed it. So it was a period where we did have some rights. We were getting them. But soon as I was able to comprehend, they started reeling them back. They started reeling them back. So I can tell it was better in the late 1970s than it is right now. You made more money. You had more opportunity than you do right now. I've seen basically what it was like to get your rights and have them slowly taken away. I've been able to witness the machine slowly remove your privileges, our privileges that we have. I've seen them slowly make us work harder and longer for less. I've seen the war on drugs and watch all of the perpetrators in the White House walk away scot-free while millions of black men suffered that criminal record. I've seen where they put together the plot for black men not to be able to arm themselves. See, that was from the Black Panthers. They didn't like it when black men was arming themselves and actually was learning that they actually could. See, in my period, they were trying to convince you that you couldn't. But for even those of us that understood that we could, the war on drugs was the perfect way to make it illegal. Perfect way to put you back in slavery, to put you back in jail. It was the perfect way. And they stained the records of millions of black men while the machine walked away scot-free. The machine that brought the drugs in. Because that's COINTELPRO. That's the plan. If you read that, like, I'm not making these things up. Don't think that I'm making this up. These are all facts that you can find that the government has admitted to. This is not me just making things up. These are all things that the government has taken ownership of. But anyway, I've seen them roll back everything and make our lives more difficult. And this is, I can say, since I've been living, this is the worst that it has ever been But the thing that I do know is just the beginning. It is about to get way worse. And we need an environment where we can protect ourselves, where we can control ourselves, where we can have influence over the laws, the rules, the regulations. And that's why we need a Black Wall Street. It's not a game. This is not something for fun. This is not for pleasure. This is for survival. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at that. This is your man, T. Can. And thank you for tuning in to Royal Black. Unity, their strength.